Hi and Assalamualaikum. Today our group will present economic recession in tourism industry.
But first, let me introduce our group members. The first one is Rosnabia Hanis binti Rosdi. Next is Nur Aini binti Maja'ah. The third one is Eliana Batrisha binti Faizul Izhar. And the last one is Nurul Anisa binti Abdul Razak.
So, in this part, I will explain about a certain industry that involved in this recession. First of all, tourism industry. Tourists are defined as short-term visitor who remains in the area for at least 24 hours. If people travel for relaxation, health, sport, vacation, study or religious purpose, their visit may be called leisure. As a result, tourism is defined and acknowledged as the activity of traveling and visiting. It is simply a set of connected tourist activities that take place when a person visits a destination. Tourism industry example, which is airline industry, hotel, hostel, homestay, share accommodation, food and beverage outlet. Tourism is a fundamental, a rather large industry composed of multiple sector or sub-industry that manufacture and sell a number of comparable but separate product and service that full tourism demand and allow visitors to tour and travel. Everything that had previously been considered normal was altered by the pandemic. The coronavirus shut down businesses, schools and even travel, forcing us all to stay at home. The tourist sector globally suffered greatly as a result of statewide lockdowns that prevent both domestic and foreign travel. Next, for small and medium industry or small and medium enterprise. Small and medium enterprise contribute to the societal and national economies. Simply said, when there are a lot of employment possibility available to company, the economy of the town and the country will grow since every working person increase the purchasing power in the country. The money they make from working will be used to meet their needs and desire. This development is analogous to the domino impact, which refers to the cumulative effect that occurs when one event stimulates a similar following occurrence. According to the Malaysian Department of Statistics, SMEs in the nation are classified into 5 sectors, which is service, construction, manufacturing, agriculture, and quarrying. The segmentation of this category demonstrates SME's contribution to the economy of society and the country.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Anisa binti Abdul Razak. So let me continue my part. I would like to talk about the negative impact of COVID-19 towards the economy. COVID-19 that came to hit our country has had a negative impact on many sectors in our country. However, one sector that is significantly affected is the tourism sector. The tourism sector is a sector that contributes a lot to the country's income. So it is very impressive because of the emergence of COVID-19 in the country. When the COVID-19 epidemic came, many industries were affected such as small and medium industries, or more known as IKS industry. The IKS industry has been severely affected by this COVID-19. COVID-19 has caused many tourists to be unable to come to our country. As a result, many IKS businesses had to close. A total of 2,713 IKS companies have had to close operations since the COVID-19 hit. As a result of the closure of these operations, many workers lost their jobs because this IKS is an industry that provides employment opportunities to the locals. So when this industry closes, unemployment will happen and indirectly the unemployment rate will increase. It is also very much related to the crime rate in our country. Another effect is that the crime rate in our country will also increase because the population does not have jobs, so they are willing to commit crimes such as robbery and theft. The final effect is that national income become decreased. This is because no tourists come to our country, so they cannot buy goods from the IKS industry in our country such as chips, crackers, and so on. Tax on goods cannot be charged because no tourists want to buy it. It will be directly related to national income. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Since the beginning of the New Year's, the pandemic that was caused by the COVID-19 virus had a significant effect on economy all around the world. Economic recession rate in tourism by the end of 2019 is anticipated that the national unemployment rate would have increased to 5.5%, which is equivalent to more than 860,000 people. Since 1990, the employment rate in Malaysia have never been higher than 5%, and it has been an average of 3.2% during the years 2010 and 2019. The contraction of 17.1% is gross domestic product (GDP) in the second quarter of 2020 is evidence on how bad the current economic crisis is. The figure was determined by dividing the previous quarter GDP by 4. According to the Small and Medium Industry (SMI) Department of the National Statistics Department, the vast majority of listed institutions in Malaysia, or 97.4%, are classified as belonging to the SMI sectors. The subsequent execution of the lockdown order that had been issued earlier led to the disruption of stoppage of a great deal of the economy. Several areas of the economy such as the hospitality industry, education system, aviation industry and tourism industry sustained loss after having previously made enormous profit. In addition, a number of textile factories in Kelantan and Penang which collectively employed up to 2,000 people locally ceased operations. Most of these companies have cash flow problem and financial reliance and are able to last only 2 months. In addition, over half of the 650,000 medium and small business in the industrial sector are directly impacted by the chemical compound.
The COVID-19 pandemic global spread since the end of 2019 has had a significant impact on the global economy, which is also affect Bumiputra enterprise of all sizes, along with occurring debt to financial institutions. Its result in many people losing their employment and means of income. The business can be revived in a number of ways after being negatively impacted by COVID-19. The first ways to recover a business after pandemic phase is invest in a financial system. A small business owner need to keep up with this all data stream. The first thing new business should get help with setting up financial system correctly. Expensive tracking, inventory, and invoice were at the top 3 financial process small business owner wish they will invested in sooner. The second way to recover a business after pandemic phase is a plan ahead. Whether you are starting out or unestablished business, it's never too late to write a business plan. 69% of people who own a small business say that it's a mistake. Planning is also important if you want to succeed in the modern day business world. So the next is the third way to recover a business after pandemic phase is understand your cash flow. Knowing your business cash flow is a critical part of small business survival. The traditional advice of having 3 to 6 months of cash reserve seem like relic from another time. Set a stretch goal of saving enough cash to sustain core operation for 1 year and access new source of capital faster. The next way to recover a business after pandemic phase is let your voice be heard. It's you own or work or for business with 10 or fewer employees, it is important that you make sure your government representative understand your particular needs. Representative can have an impact on expanding access to COVID-19 relief funds. So the last way to recover a business after pandemic phase is acknowledge loss and lesson. 45% of small business survive apply for a government backup relief program this year. 61% were successful in obtaining funds. Diversify where you can and embrace technology to find new ways to reach customers. Many small business are figuring out how to thrive.
In conclusion, the economic crisis in Malaysia caused by the COVID-19 pandemic has had a significant impact on various industries, particularly the tourist industry, which is one of several industries that contribute to the economic growth of our country, Malaysia. However, this global recession may be handled and reduced as soon as the government examines our country's flaw. This recession can be ended with rapid action.